At the latest reality TV reunion, something incredible happened. What started as just another heated conversation turned into a complete game changer. This was no ordinary argument or petty drama, and the aftermath left both the cast and the audience in utter disbelief. One moment in particular completely shifted the power dynamics, and for the first time in a long while, it seemed like the king of the show, Martell, was no longer in control. Reality TV reunions are usually full of drama, tension, and conflict. They're the moments where cast members come together to air their grievances, confront one another, and hash out unresolved issues. However, this particular reunion was different. From the very beginning, the tension in the air was palpable. Everyone could feel it. There was something heavier in the atmosphere this time, and no one knew exactly what would unfold. Martell, who has always been able to control the conversation and dominate the narrative, probably walked into the reunion expecting it to be like every other. He was prepared to argue, twist the truth to his favor, and maintain his stronghold on the show. But little did he know that things were about to take a turn he never saw coming. The conversation began to shift as soon as the issues with Martell's past actions came to the forefront. For the longest time, he had been able to downplay his mistakes, gaslight those around him, and make himself appear as the victim. This tactic had worked for him for years, and most of the time, even when cast members disagreed with him, they would hesitate to call him out directly. But not this time. The cast wasn't backing down anymore. The turning point came when Kimmie, who is usually the calm and composed voice of reason, stepped into the conversation. Kimmie has always been the type of cast member to avoid unnecessary confrontations and arguments. She carefully chooses her words and typically stays out of the drama, but this time she had reached her breaking point. When she entered the fray, it wasn't just a simple confrontation. She took the power from Martell in a way no one could have predicted. Kimmie did more than just call out Martell on his behavior. She exposed something that no one expected to be discussed on camera. She broke the unspoken rules of reality TV and addressed issues that were meant to stay behind the scenes. As soon as she did that, the entire room fell silent. It was as if a bomb had gone off, and the reactions from the cast were mixed. Some seemed uncomfortable, others seemed almost relieved, and a few were even enjoying watching Martell squirm for the first time in years. The clip of this moment quickly went viral. Social media exploded with reactions, memes, and wild theories. Everyone had something to say. Some fans were cheering Kimmie on, while others were shocked by how bold and daring she had been. The biggest question on everyone's mind was what this meant for the future of the show. For the first time, it looked like Martell's grip on the show was slipping, and that maybe, just maybe, he wasn't the untouchable figure he once thought he was. What made this reunion different from all the others wasn't just the drama that unfolded, it was the personal and strategic nature of the argument. Martell and Kimmie have never exactly been close, but their conflict reached a boiling point at this reunion. For months leading up to the reunion, viewers had noticed subtle signs of tension. Kimmie had posted cryptic quotes on social media, and on the show, she appeared increasingly uncomfortable with Martell's behavior. Fans were starting to wonder if Kimmie was finally ready to stand up to him. And when she did, it was clear that the buildup had been leading to this moment all along. The producers were also fully aware of the brewing tension between the cast members, and they carefully set the stage for what would turn out to be one of the most explosive reunions in the show's history. They knew that this would be the moment to finally air the unresolved issues between Martell and the other cast members. As soon as the conversation started to turn toward Martell's past actions, the energy in the room shifted and everything exploded. Kimmie, who had always been the calm one, stepped up to the plate and said the one thing that no one expected. She called out Martell's constant manipulation, his gaslighting, and his ability to twist every situation to his benefit. It wasn't just about one fight or one accusation. It was about years of accumulated tension and frustration. And in that moment, it was clear that Kimmie was not just standing up for herself, but for the entire cast. The moment Kimmie uttered the words, "Enough with the games, Martell, you don't get to rewrite history," the room fell silent. Martell's usual tactics of deflection and manipulation didn't work this time. He tried to laugh it off, but the truth had already started coming out. And for the first time in years, Martell didn't have an answer. The cast was in shock. Some of them couldn't believe what they were hearing, while others were starting to realize that this moment was bigger than just one person. It was a turning point for the entire show, but the most shocking part was yet to come. Kimmie didn't just call out Martell, she broke the fourth wall in a way no one had ever done before on the show. In reality TV, breaking the fourth wall is almost taboo. Cast members are never supposed to acknowledge the behind-the-scenes workings of the production. But Kimmie didn't just hint at it, she openly called out the producers. She turned to the production team and said, "Y'all really want to go there? Fine, let's tell the real story." And just like that, the entire atmosphere shifted. For a moment, it felt as though the producers were in a state of panic. The crew, who controls the show, edits the footage, and decides what the audience sees, was suddenly thrust into the spotlight. The producers were caught off guard. Kimmie wasn't just exposing Martell's actions, she was exposing the system that allowed his behavior to go unchecked for so long. The moment Kimmie broke the fourth wall, fans on social media went into a frenzy. Many were shocked that she was risking it all by calling out the production. Some fans praised her for finally telling the truth, while others feared that she might face severe consequences for her bold move. Industry insiders also weighed in, with some suggesting that Kimmie's actions could lead to her being blacklisted from reality TV. Others believed that she had started a revolution in reality television, one where cast members weren't afraid to challenge the system. What followed was a flurry of reactions. Some cast members rushed to Kimmie's side, showing support for her actions. Others, however, sided with Martell, arguing that her move was too risky and could jeopardize the entire show. The tension among the cast reached new heights, and the network was now faced with a dilemma. How would they handle this unexpected turn of events? Could they control the narrative? Or had Kimmie just exposed something too real to ignore? The fallout didn't end when the cameras stopped rolling. Sources say that behind the scenes, the cast members were divided. Some were congratulating Kimmie for standing up to Martell and exposing the truth, while others were concerned about what the future held for the show. Were alliances shifting behind the scenes? Were there private conversations that could completely alter the cast dynamic moving forward? Fans couldn't help but wonder what was next. As the reunion wrapped up, it was clear that things would never be the same. Relationships were broken, alliances were tested, and the entire dynamic of the show had shifted. For Martell, it seemed like his reign over the show had come to an end. The questions now were whether he would ever regain the control he once had and what this would mean for the future of the show. For the fans, the biggest question was whether other cast members would follow Kimmie's lead. Would more people start speaking out? Would there be more moments like this that exposed the darker side of reality TV? It seemed as though this reunion had opened a door that could never be closed again. And perhaps the most shocking twist of all came when Martell attempted to make a comeback. After being dethroned in front of the entire cast and audience, Martell tried to regain control, but it was clear that his usual tactics weren't working anymore. The cast, for the first time, wasn't afraid to shut him down. It was as though Martell's power had finally been broken. In the days following the reunion, sources revealed that things got even more heated behind the scenes. Some cast members reportedly walked off the set, unwilling to continue filming in the tense atmosphere. A walk-off at a reunion is rare, but when it happens, it usually signals that the tension has reached its peak, and from the looks of it, this reunion was no exception. As the dust settled, the future of the show remained uncertain. Would the cast return for another season? Would there be more shocking revelations to come? Only time would tell, but one thing was clear. The reality TV reunion had reached a turning point, and it was impossible to go back to the way things were before. In the end, Kimmie's bold move may have changed the course of the show forever. By exposing Martell's behavior, calling out the production, and breaking the fourth wall, she did something no one else had the courage to do. Whether this will lead to a complete overhaul of the show, or if it will mark the beginning of a new era in reality TV, remains to be seen. But for now, it's clear that this reunion will go down in history as one of the most explosive and game-changing moments in reality television.